So looking over your homework, that page 347, number 5 through 10, I'm seeing some mistakes that I want to go over. And some of you, I may ask you to resubmit your quiz after you watch this because you might have made the same mistake on your quiz. So let's make sure we fix our mistakes, and basically you're going to have a chance to retake any assessment because we want to make sure learning is happening. I don't want you to stress about your grades so much, but I do want to make sure you learn the material correctly while we're in this lockdown mode. So this is number 5 and number 6 from the homework. They gave you a cylinder, and that was part of the problem. Some of you were using the wrong formula. If you have a cylinder, your formula, volume, is the area of the base times the height. You don't do the 1/3. You only use 1/3 for a cone. So just doing that is going to fix a lot of your mistakes. So they gave us the volume of 340, and they did not give us the height. The height is what was missing from here to here. But they did give us a radius of 3. As soon as I find another color here, we'll use brown. So our radius is 3. And let's remember our volume formula. The area of the base is a circle. So pi times r squared times our height, which is missing. They did give us the volume of 340. And they did give us a radius of 3. Another thing I want to point out. When you square the radius, you're not squaring the pi. You're doing 3 times 3. That's the only thing that's getting multiplied. The 3 times 3. So 3 squared is 9. And our height is still unknown. So now, using your calculators, we can find out what 9 times pi is. If your calculator does not have that pi button, then use 3.14. That's fine. 9 times 3.14 is 28. 28 will round to 0.3, and that height is still unknown. We're multiplying by an unknown number. So this last step, let's go ahead and divide both sides by 28.3. Divide this side by 28.3, and divide this side by 28.3. And we find out that when we do that, 340 divided by 28.3 gives us 12, approximately 12. So our height, and in this case I think it was inches. I had to grab my book here. In feet. Our height is 12 feet. Okay, next thing I'm going to look at is number 6. And for number 6, we are given a cone this time. So again, this is page 347, number 6. And I feel like I might have done this one in the live chat, but so our height they gave us. They told us that is 4.7. and they told us our radius is the unknown. But they gave us a volume equal to 938 centimeters cubed. So let's go ahead and plug in our formula. Volume is equal to 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Our area, in this case, it's a circle, our base. Times the height. So let's go ahead and put in what they gave us. 938 is equal to 1/3 times pi. And our radius, that's the unknown. So I know I'm going to have to square root. But they gave me the height, which is 4.7. So if you were to rearrange this, we can go ahead and multiply these two together. 4.7 times pi, because they're on the same side. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and multiply 4.7 times pi. 4.7 times 3.14. So now we have 938 is equal to 1/3. We're using 1/3 because it's a cone. Times 14, we'll round 14.8, and that r squared is still our unknown. So when we do 1/3 times 14.8, this is the same as dividing by 3. A fraction, basically, if you take 1/3 of something, it's splitting it into 3. If you had a candy bar and you're splitting it amongst 3 people, your piece is basically dividing by 3. So let's go ahead and do that. 14.8. And if you have the fraction button, you can use that. If you don't, this is how my calculator looks at 1/3. I put it in parentheses. So we get 4.9. So 4.9 times radius squared. This is multiplication. To undo multiplication, we're going to divide both sides by 4.9. Divide by 4.9 here. 938 divided by 4.9. And we get this ugly number, and that's okay. 191.4 is equal to radius squared. Now go back to our last chapter. Our last chapter was about square roots. To undo a square, okay, think about that square activity we actually did. To undo that, we are going to square root both sides. So square root that r, square root that 191.4. So depending on your calculator, you may have to find the square root sign. Mine is here. To get that blue number, I press second, and the square root will show up. And we find out that the square root of 191.4 is 13.8. So 13.8, in this case it's centimeters, will be our radius. Okay, again, I would like, I'm going to send you a message if I think your quiz can use a little fixer-uppers. So go ahead and check that out and resend it. Thanks. Bye-bye.